everybody, here at Rosendahl 5-2 Fence and Dirt. We are back at the road is Big Sky. I call it the Big Sky project. That's where I laid that culvert down yesterday. The fence you see in the background as I'm twisting around here, we built that earlier in the month. It's 1,440 linear feet of 2-rail, all 2 7/8. And we are installing the gate operator today as well. So we will be wrapping up this project in its entirety. And it's good. It's a whole lot better start than yesterday. Let's see if I can get the camera around. We got Luis over there welding up some hardware for the gate operator. We're installing a LiftMaster RSL12, running it off of solar. I got a crew out working on one of our steel buildings and fences, and then I have another crew starting a fence today. So it's going good. We're making up for some lost time yesterday. I am cutting this grade down up by the house. He had a bunch of water pooling up against it, and that was kind of driving him batty. And we've got rain coming in 2 days. So excited for the rain, but want to make sure we get this drainage cut for the customer so he's not swimming. But I'll move the camera around so you can see what we're digging, and hope you enjoy the show. What I'm doing here, this first little section, is I'm just establishing my grade. Brought the skid steer back in, moved the spoils around, and just establishing that grade so I can use it kind of as my benchmark to cut a whole lot faster. I'll just cut down to that, check it as I go, but it'll be a whole lot less stopping and checking if I just get this first section exactly the way I want it, and then afterwards I can come clean everything up. But I'll tell you what, it is cold out. It's 18 degrees currently. It looks sunny out, but it's 18 degrees, and I just spent maybe 10 minutes in that skid steer, the open station, and that's about all I had in me. I'm happy to be back in here. I might be doing a little more of this with the excavator than I intended, but it's cold out there. At least I can work in comfort. The builder of this home, I don't know who they are, and I wouldn't name them if I did. but I got a little bit of a bone to pick with them. They, when this home was just completed, they were supposed to have cleaned up the property so I could come in and mow it with that SVL75 and a Bobcat brush cutter that I run on the front of it. And I just sharpened the blades. And these guys had dumped their concrete and junk all over the place. I mean, you couldn't see it until you found it with the blades. And those blades, by the time I was done mowing this, those blades completely had to be taken off, resharpened, ground back on one job. And that just stinks. And as I'm digging up this area here, I mean, I'm finding 2x6s. I've got one right now. I just stabbed it. See if you can see that. Got 2x6s and concrete junk just buried everywhere. And I get it, stuff gets moved around, but these guys were laying the pad as they went, putting in small lifts as they cut the backyard. They knew exactly what they were doing, and there's just junk everywhere. It's not like a major atrocity, but it's just, take a little pride in your work, keep it clean. It's just silly. Now I got a freaking 2x6 stuck in between the teeth of my bucket. But whatever. Customer and I discussed a 2% grade away from the house, and I cut my little benchmark area there so I could just run off of that grade and be a whole lot faster. And customer thought it was too steep once he saw what 2% actually looked like. So now we are doing 1% for the rest of the pad, which means I'm cutting a new section here and spend the time dialing that in so then we can just move a lot faster on the next one. So a little bit of a setback in terms of schedule, but it'll be alright. I mean, the reality is it's going to cost us some time in setup, but save us some time and some dirt removal. So it'll all equal out. As I'm sure you noticed, maybe, that I'm running an 18-inch bucket. Obviously for something like this where we're just cutting, a little larger bucket would be way better, save a lot project here. It's almost too comfy in here. I'm getting sleepy. But we'll be back freezing our nuts off in that SVL75 here in about 10 minutes. But I'll enjoy it while I can. Alright everybody, we just wrapped up at Big Sky, or the Big Sky job is what I've been calling it. It turned out really good. The customer's absolutely pumped that the drainage is corrected, the culvert's in, his fence is done, and the gate operator is running, and they are happy. But I don't think I explained the whole drainage situation in its entirety in the beginning. I just said we were going to be addressing some drainage at the front of the house. And at least in Yavapai County, in order to get the certificate of occupancy, the builder, general contractor, homeowner, whatever, has to have final grade taken care of, and it has to be 10 foot out from the stem wall of the house, 10 foot of slope. And what the builder did for these, for my customers here, the builder complied by Yavapai County standards, did 10 foot out, but I mean, for lack of a better term, was too lazy to bring that grade further than the 10 foot. Obviously it takes time to move dirt, so instead of taking the time to move the dirt and do it correctly, they cut just a swale or drainage ditch running parallel to the front of the customer's house, 10 foot out. And they ran all their downspouts into that drainage. So whenever it rains or they got any moisture, that swale would get very muddy, and now the customers had to walk through that mud every time they needed to get to the front door or wanted to use the front door of their house, which is just ridiculous. So what we did is we came in, I explained the change in grade. Ultimately 2% is what it really needed to be, but customers happy with 1%. We still got 4 inches of drop, but we cut that hump out, got rid of the swale. We started our grade at the bottom of the drainage and then ran it out from there, and it turned out really good. It's not a super exciting project, but we certainly enjoyed the work and we appreciate the work and continued support from our customers and you guys watching this video. So it is the weekend for me. I'm gonna head home and spend some time with my family. I hope you all have a great weekend, or whatever day of the week it is you're watching this video. This is Garrett Rosendahl, and I'll talk to you next time.